Recently, I've been asked a few times to say something about peace. When am I going to have peace? Or when is the world going to finally be peaceful? And I know there's lots of people, lots of different kinds of teachers, and they always have been talking about, shifting into a new stage, a new age, a time when there's going to be, peace and a new way of living that might just be ahead of us. So I just wanted to explore that a little bit. The first thing I wanted to suggest is that the way we think about peace is a fairy tale. Okay. It's not real and it's not based in reality for a start. So the idea that there will be a time or that there has been a time where everything was at peace has never existed. That's never existed because, as the Buddha pointed out, life is dukkha. Okay, life is unsatisfactory. We get upset by life, in small ways and in big ways every day. And the reason life is unsatisfactory is because it's ever changing. Okay, it's transient, it's impermanent. That is the fabric of reality. And the Buddha says in the fire sermon that everything is on fire. This moment is on fire. Everything is on fire because it's ungraspable. It's ever changing. Even this moment right now has just disappeared. And now we're in another moment. So everything is just on fire all the time. There's no permanence to any of that. It's not going to stay the same. Same doesn't exist. Okay. And of course, if you go and grab hold of fire, it hurts. If you try and grab hold of a flame, it's going to burn you, it's going to hurt. Likewise, when we try and impose this idea of permanence, things must stay the same onto life, onto ourselves, onto our partners, we're going to get hurt because it hurts when we try to make something permanent that isn't. We're already in unreality, fantasy, if we imagine that anything stays the same from moment to moment on a cellular level, on a mental or emotional level, on a global level. Everything is continuously changing. This relates to what the Greek philosopher Heraclitus said as well. They were teaching around a similar time. He said that life is strife. Okay, life is strife. He didn't say life was peaceful. The Buddha also didn't say life is peaceful because it's not. You just need to switch the news on or, have a quick look at what's going on in your own head to realize that this isn't peaceful. So Heraclitus said that life is strife. And, what he's pointing to with that teaching is that in order for anything to live, it needs to impose itself on something else. So life eats life in order to survive. And because everything loves its life, everything wants to be, it needs to eat something else. So even if we become vegans and we decide only to eat grass, we're going to completely minimize our effect on the world and only eat grass. Well, the grass is alive, and we're killing the grass in order to maintain our own being. So that's just happening across the board. Every life form needs to live off another life form. That is the way reality is built. Okay, life devours life in order to live. That's strife. That's continuous strife. Okay, and if that wasn't the way things were, there would be no life. The universe itself was an explosion, a big bang. That's not peaceful. If it was peaceful, then there wouldn't have been a big bang to begin with, and there would be nothing. So life is strife, and that strife creates life and conflict. But the conflict is creativity. The conflict is life moving forward moment to moment. So where's the peace? What's peaceful about that? Well, that there isn't really anything peaceful about that. That's just the way life works. You know, if I want to live, I have to drink water, I have to eat other things, whether that's vegetables or animals. And when I die, you know, this body gets devoured by insects, and it's a cycle, and all of that is natural and all of that is okay, right? That is not a mistake. That is how reality comes to be and maintains itself. So it's natural. When we think peace involves stopping that, you know, not being involved in any movement or conflict or impermanence or flow, then we're lost because we're really chasing a fantasy. The only way to really have peace is by understanding that all of that conflict is part of life and it's natural, okay? And that the Garden of Eden isn't ahead of us somewhere. You know, heaven isn't out there, Nirvana's not waiting for you at the end of a very long meditation retreat in Tibet. Okay, because if we think it is, then we're always pushing happiness, pushing freedom into the future. And we say, well, right now isn't peaceful. So hopefully, with my fingers crossed, maybe in 10 years' time, I will, you know, experience peace because right now isn't peaceful. But the real understanding is that this is the Garden of Eden right now. With all of the chaos, with all of the strife, with all of these thoughts, with all of these sounds, this is the Garden of Eden here and now. And the Garden of Eden, it's not just you know, roses and beautiful flowers and rare orchids. There are brambles in the Garden of Eden. And there are thorns. You know, the rose also has the thorns with it. This is the perfect symbol for life. It's not just the flower, the thorns are there too. Okay. And they're both important. The thorns play a role in protecting the flower. Okay. So the Garden of Eden is all inclusive. This moment is all inclusive. It's not some dead, inert peacefulness when nothing happens. No, it is as it is. There is conflict. There are thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You know, there are, you know, upheaval and wars and tsunamis and shooting stars and avalanches. This is all part of the Garden of Eden. And this is the understanding. It's not to change it, you know, to go and cut down all the flowers and the hedges. No, you know, you'll never get to the end of that. There is no end to that. Okay. There's never a time when the world will be objectively at peace. There'll never be a time when your life will objectively be at peace. Now, you might be able to be at peace with strife, and there's your freedom. But the idea that you're objectively going to get rid of everything and live on a sort of plateau where everything's okay is another fairy tale that the mind comes up with. You know, the idea that you'll come to a point where you always have enough money. Well, you can manifest all you want, but you'll never get there. You know, even if you make a lot of money, the next day the tax bill arrives and there it goes. You know, or maybe a relationship is going well, but then you hit a rocky patch. You know, you have absolute health. You're in the gym every day, you're running the marathon, and then there's some ill health. Okay, now you might make some money again and the relationship might improve and you might regain your health, but it's just not constant. It's not a plateau. There's no end point where you say, ah, now I'm done. Now everything is at peace. It doesn't work like that. It's just endless moments of life unfolding with all of the beauty and all of the chaos, and it's all here. And there's beauty in the chaos, and there's wisdom in the noise, and it's all the Garden of Eden. But we think it's elsewhere. Nirvana's over there, heaven's up there. Couldn't be here and now. Impossible. And of course, the great secret is that no, 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 it is here and now. It's this. It's this moment. You're in it. It's like the story of the man who died, and he went up to see God. And so he dies and he meets God. And the first thing that God says to him is, "So, how did you like heaven? What that was heaven. Yeah, yeah. Did you enjoy it? Oh, no, I didn't enjoy it. I was too busy trying to fix it, trying to endlessly change it, trying to make myself peaceful, trying to be enlightened, trying to turn life into something I liked." Oh, well, it sounds like you missed the point then. The point is to realize that this is heaven. This is the Garden of Eden. It's where you've always lived. And the purpose of being here isn't to fix it, change it, to stop the mechanisms by which life arises, the strife, the conflict, the dissatisfaction, the fact that the Garden of Eden is on fire, it's burning up moment by moment, is how anything gets created in the first place. So this is it. You're already in the garden. So maybe just take some time to sit and bask with the sun on your face.